Backchaining a routine. Make sure that all the tricks you want to chain together are fluent. The dog should know these behaviors extremely well. Step 1. Start with the very last behavior in the routine or sequence that you are backchaining. Have the dog do the behavior, click, and reinforce. Do this a few times before moving to step 2. Step 2. Add the second to the last behavior in the sequence which you are chaining together, followed by the last behavior, click, and reinforce. Step 3. Add the third to the last behavior, then the second, and finally the last behavior, click, and reinforce. Note, reinforcement always comes at the end. Continue to practice this a few times before moving to step 4. Each piece of the routine could be backchained. For example, my turn back through, up and off my back could be backchained to make that one piece extremely reliable. However, I personally might want to change this later down the road, so I choose to backchain chunks of my routines. Step 4. Add the fourth to the last behavior, third, second, and the end behavior. Click and reinforce.
Ready, go, boing.
Keep adding on tricks until you have completed the sequence or routine. The great thing about backchaining is that the dog learns the routine really well. The drawback is that the dog learns the routine really well. Watch for anticipation and behaviors that break down or are not looking how you would want them to look. If a behavior starts to break down, then go back and retrain that particular behavior and then rechain the behaviors again. You might have noticed that in my behavior chain I demonstrated, Twix is sloppy on his backing up. I will be going back and retraining this behavior before I continue on with backchaining this piece of the routine.
Ready, go, boing. Ready, go, pop. Good boy.
When creating behavior chains in a routine, make sure the last behavior is the most preferred trick or the trick that the dog likes the most. This way the dog has something to look forward to when performing the routine. This quote favorite trick can also act as a primary reinforcer, and the trick prior to the favorite trick acts like a click and is a secondary reinforcer.
Ready, go, boing. Up.
Repeat the behavior chain 2 to 3 times.
Ready, go, boing. Up.
Now that you have chained a few behaviors together, you might think, wow, that was easy. However, as you continue on, you might find some problems that occur. 1. The dog might try to find a simpler way to get to the reward. He might try skipping a few pieces and go straight to the end. 2. The dog stops doing one of the behaviors. 3. The dog gets sloppy with the behaviors. If the dog makes a mistake, do not click and have him try it again. You can also cue the behavior right before he should do the behavior to keep him on the right track. If you can repeat this behavior chain 5 times and it looks great all 5 times, then you did a wonderful job. If the 4th and 5th time looks sloppy or is not as good as the first 3 tries, then you probably have not trained a piece of the behavior chain as well as you should have. If this happens, just go back and retrain the piece that is breaking down. For more information about behavior chains and backchaining, you can purchase my Canine Freestyle ebook that will be available on my website at www.pamsdogtraining.com. Thanks!